Hey guys, welcome back to War Thunder, and today we are taking out the BF109-F4 tropical variant fighter in the German tech tree. This fighter sits at the German tech tree with a battle rating of 3.7 and it's one of the most used planes in the game. A very good energy fighter for its tier, the 109-F4 can practically outclimb most opponents due to its high power to weight ratio. However, one thing to note about the plane is constant use of WEP must be limited, or else the engine would overheat quite quickly and kill your engine entirely out of the process. Although if you are an expert at manual engine control, it is quite easy to remedy this by increasing the radiator flaps. Despite that, it can boom and zoom well, although one must watch out for severe stiffening controls around 650 kilometers per hour, so be very careful when you are coming from a dive. Try not to extend too much. Once you see that the plane is reaching 600 kilometers per hour, start leveling out the plane. Now let's talk about the gun pods, as currently in this matchup I am packing the additional 15mm gun pods, also known as the gondolas. They do not increase the damage output much at all. Now, while reducing flight performance, it is recommended that at least players tend to use it once or twice to see how effective it is, because depending on how you play, it can really boost your kill abilities. Now, for example, if you were to prefer to get into a dogfight, the additional weaponry will not be noticeably effective. However, at some instances, you can actually see the difference, mainly because those wing mounted MGs can hit a sweet spot in the enemy wingtips. However, if you are fighting in a vertical style combat where level speed and agility is not necessarily the most important, the additional MG 151s can mean the difference between a kill or nothing at all. Mainly because if you were to have the additional gun pods to your wings, it will add weight. It will reduce the loop-to-loop capabilities quite significantly, and you will feel the additional weight on your plane. Now for me, I like to use the additional gun pods. I've never really had a problem with the additional firepower. I've found it to be rather on point whenever I try to aim at enemy targets. I do try to use air belts and armored targets as best I can. Now the game you're about to see was a very good match where me and my squad were keeping the enemy team busy from start to the end. So guys, let's get along to the matchup. So guys, welcome back to the game. Now currently we are at the middle of the fight. Everyone has dived down and engaged. My teammates also have practically commenced the engagement. I did let my teammates know that I would maintain altitude just for a while. You never know in these instances whether there could be an enemy player just climbing above. You always have to make sure that you're the last player above, because if an enemy team has a drop on you, you could be screwed. Now immediately I start lowering my altitude. Remember, try not to compress the plane above 650 because it will compress at that speed. I am just bleeding off my speed just for a bit, and also altitude, trying to pick out which target I want to go in first. I do see Sitamo on the Spitfire. He is an interesting target and one that we probably should eliminate first, because he is the most maneuverable one. My teammates are going for the B-25 and I see this P-38 coming in, but I also see this P-51. I am keeping an eye on him, and I decided to abandon the P-38 and go straight for the P-51. He is, yeah, he's doing a bit of a weird maneuver. I don't know what it was, and it threw me off, but I did get a hit on him. Nothing critical. However, he is going down the dive, and I really wasn't too sure what this pilot was doing. Because he sees me coming behind him. He knows that I'm going faster than him. I start opening up on him. I am a little rusty on the 151s, and then he does that. He tries to yeah, I'm not too sure what he was doing. He was doing some wild kind of maneuvers, so I decided I'm not going to waste my time on this guy. First, Darren is in trouble, so I do come to his aid. However, I am a little bit too slow. First rule of engagement: when your teammate's under fire, get the guy, the last guy on the whole hornet's nest. Catch the P-38 engine on fire. Darren is still being engaged. I am trying to turn. However, like I said, I am not a Spitfire. I'm just a 109. P-38 goes down. I get my first kill of the game. Now, I remember in this match there was a problem with Darren's comm. He wasn't really talking to us. So I opened up on the crosshair and I got his wing tip, and I eliminated him. And the crosshair would go down very shortly. He's practically dead and I'm not going to waste any more ammo on him. However, I did get a good hit on the Spitfire, but nothing too critical. Moving up towards this P-51 because he is coming very fast towards me. I'm not going to go into a dive with the Spitfire. And I get the wing of the crosshair, second kill of the game. And now I realize that the Spitfire is right on my 6. Now, one thing to know, don't panic when you see a Spitfire on your 6. You can go faster than him. You cannot, he cannot actually outclimb you. So don't worry, just dive and just relax. Now my teammate comes into my to my aid actually. Thank you, Jensen. He gets a very good hit on Sitamo with his P-47 50 cals. I do a loop and I'm scanning for the next target. Oh, and I also got a kill on that crosshair who just crashed, and third kill of the game. Now Brian is, if I'm not mistaken, returning back to base. His engine is damaged and I'm scouting the air to see where the next enemies are. And I was contemplating on returning back to base. I didn't have much ammunition actually in this engagement, but Jensen said that he's going and I didn't want to leave him alone. So I said, alright, sure mate, I will follow you. However, I'm about like more than 3 kilometers behind you. So I ended up going towards where Jensen is. Now in this particular engagement, we were wondering where the last 2 enemy planes were, and they were back on the base. They were repairing and rearming, and I do spot the 2 of them. They're flying very low, however we do spot them rather easily. Jensen initially was trying to figure out where the enemy team was, and I do keep an eye out that there are 2 planes. Now I do commence a dive on the enemy. This was a bit of an embarrassing moment, mainly because I lost visual on the second target. Only to my amazement to realize that the second target was well ahead of me and not at where I predicted it to be. Now this Hurricane does not see me coming. Very big mistake by the Hurricane pilot there. AFK, I'm guessing. He turns. I don't even think he realizes that I'm behind him. And I just relax. I get close and I let him up on fire. 4th kill of the game. I'm moving up towards that P-47. Now that's going to be a big threat for the 109 if the P-47 has good energy. Jensen is coming down as fast as he can. I do want Jensen to get this kill, but then Jensen lets me know that it's okay, just help the 109 as soon as possible. Now if you're a P-47 pilot, don't do this. Do not go into a turn fight against a 109. Use your speed and altitude advantage for better options, I would say. If you don't, then things are just gonna get really disappointing. Now I got a hit on the P-47 and then after that he lost his wing. Now I don't understand what the P-47 pilot was doing. However, because of it, I was able to save my teammate. And I also did get 5 kills in the game. So that means that I got an ace in a day. Wasn't too hard actually to get it with a player playing like that. I do let Jensen know that we have won. Jensen comes down to shoot down some ground targets, whatever he can. And I just watch and just try to help him out as much as I can. However, the game ends very prematurely. So guys, let's move on to the scoreboard. Now as you can see guys, I got 3rd place in the team with 5 kills. Jensen and Brian got 4th and 5th with 2 kills each. I do get 69,000 lions in this game, 3,307 points. Now let's look over here. 2,628 vehicle research points. I feel like it wasn't so much. I felt like I probably should have been rewarded a little bit more because I did get 5 kills and 3 critical hits with plenty of supports also for my teammate, making sure that I protected them. But it's okay nonetheless. 4.6k modification research. It really doesn't mean much because I've already aced the plane, and most of it, my vehicle research points were dumped into my ME262 C2B. The 109-F4 Throp. Now, most players prefer to play without the gun pods. I do like to play with the gun pods depending on my situation. Now, if I have a good squad that I had, like Jensen, Brian and Darren, I do feel much more confident taking out the gun pods. However, if I'm playing alone, I tend to not use the gun pods mainly because I don't know what adversaries I will be facing, and I tend to like to do vertical loops in a 109 because they're so good in it. So yes, do practice it, guys. Do see what you can and what you can't do with the plane, and do let me know in the comment section what planes you want me to do next. Thanks so much for watching the video, guys. If you like what you saw, hit like and subscribe for more videos in the future. Till then, guys, peace out. I'm out.